It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Hey, as part of my leasing tutorial today, I want to talk about municipality financing. Some people might call it state and local government financing. But ladies and gentlemen in the Document Imaging channel, you need to go to your leasing companies that you use and you need to ask them, do you have a municipality finance program or a state and local government finance program? Now, I know there's a leasing company that does have this. They are not a sponsor of the End of the Day with Ray. But again, I used them in my past life, and they're damn good at what they do around municipality leasing, and that organization is DLL Leasing. DLL has a fantastic program for municipality or state and local government financing, and I suggest you all reach out to them. And the reason I'm talking about this municipality lease program is because when I highlighted that city deal last week, remember the city that bought the 14 machines, you know, to replace the 14 machines they had that they actually loved and liked, and they were bragging about how they hardly ever break and they hardly have any service? That city would have kept that equipment had they had the opportunity. I assure you, folks. They weren't running to that vendor saying, hey, we want to replace everything that's working just fine. You know, we want to get in bed with a whole nother lease. You know, we want to start all over again. They would have kept that equipment. And if that vendor, who, by the way, brags about how great they are in IT services, if that vendor would have went in there with some IT services, and if that vendor would have used a municipality lease 3 years ago, things would have been so much easier for that customer. I mean, think about it. The equipment would have been paid for. The vendor could have raised the service a little bit. I'm sure that city would have paid him a little more money. Hey, that was a service for the first 3 years. Now for the next 3 years, this is what your service is going to be. They'd probably love to pay a little bit more because they're going to save all the lease costs. Because if they had a municipality lease, guess what? At the last payment, they would have owned it. Because every single municipality lease comes with this, an amortization schedule. And when the customer makes the last payment, it's zero. But the beauty of it is they can pay that off whenever they want. Every single month, they know exactly what the buyout is. Boy, isn't that transparent? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the beauty. Here is the beauty of the municipality lease program. The customer gets to keep the equipment at the end, but the rate that you're going to use to finance it is lower than the fair market value rate in most cases on the longer terms. On the shorter terms, it's pretty much the same as a fair market value rate, but the customer gets to keep it at the end. You have complete exposure to the buyout. You know exactly what it's going to be. There's no hidden cost. It's a fantastic opportunity for municipalities. And more dealers need to figure this out, because here's the deal, folks. It's not about just selling copy machines. You know, we all know that, right? We're all kind of diversified. We're trying to get into the IT services. I want to show you all a chart. And this chart was done in 2016 by Computer Economics. I probably should update the chart. But back in 2015, print equipment, its supplies and its services represented 1.1% of a technology spend. My friends in the Document Imaging channel, is it about time we go after the 98, 99% other business? I realize y'all make money selling copiers and print at the 1.1%, but my gosh, how much more money could you make if you actually got 3 or 4% of the IT spend? Can you imagine there would be so many home runs if you got 5% of the IT spend? And think about those really, really good companies that go in there and get like 60 or 70% of the IT spend. What more could this vendor have done in that city if that city got to keep all that equipment at the end of that 3 years? And instead of spending $87,000 again for another 3 years to get the same damn equipment they already paid for, they could have bought IT equipment. They could have got some subscription services. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, if you really want to disrupt your marketplace, go into that marketplace with municipality financing. This financing program works with all these people. Here's our city hall here in St. Louis. They would qualify. Boy, that's a scary looking building. Airports qualify. City hospitals qualify. School districts qualify. Get your imagination stewing, folks. Think about it. Think about helping those buyers create bids that say we want an amortization schedule with every one of with our lease. We want to be able to pay it off on a monthly basis if we want, completely in full, and know exactly what that is. Do you guys have municipality financing? Make them bid. We want a municipality finance program. Because, see, the leaseors, they love these programs because they get some tax benefits. It helps them lower the price of the financing. That's how you can have, you know, the customer own the equipment at the end, but the rate's lower than a fair market value rate. Ladies and gentlemen, these are fantastic programs. I've used them myself. and they really, really help you move the needle. They really, really do. Because we can't just keep running into accounts, chasing that one. What is that? That's just a loop. I mean, this number's so scary, I got to show it to you again. Where the hell's that at? We're chasing 1.1%. I mean, that's almost embarrassing. I mean, you run back to the office, yeah, we got 1% of the technology spend. God, we knocked it out of the park. Well, aren't you guys an IT company too? Yeah, but we're happy with 1%. We don't need to sell much more than the printers and the copiers. I mean, backup stuff, that's complicated. If we get IT involved, that drags out the conversation. We want to go in there and just bam, bam, sell that customer and get out of there. You see how crazy that sounds? You see how 1990 that sounds? Ladies and gentlemen, learn about municipality leasing. It's a great program. It can really help you change the game. Because we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see you all tomorrow.